We welcome you to another live edition of the Sports Box, brought to you by our sponsor, Showcase Sports in Hamilton. Showcase Sports for the elite athlete. And by our friends over at CrowdPlay. Download the free CrowdPlay app today and check them out at www.crowdplayapp.com for details. Ladies and gentlemen, it's showtime.
Hey everybody, welcome to Cage My IQ. I'm your host D-Bake. I bring you today the PFL 1 preview edition. We got the Pro Fighter League 2021, which premieres this Friday at 9 o'clock on ESPN 2. And we got 4 fights on the main card that are going to be great. And it's going to be 2 featherweight and 2 lightweight matchups on that card. And then we also have 5 or 6 fights on the prelim. But for this, we're going to focus on the 4 main card matchups. And I'm going to give you my predictions for them. But once again, this is Cage My IQ. You can find us right here on all those handles for Instagram, Twitter, for YouTube, and for Twitch. And definitely follow us on Twitch and YouTube at those handles and subscribe, because we're trying to grow our brand, and then we could use all the help that we can. But let's get focused on the first matchup right now, which is right here, which is a featherweight matchup between two-time champ Lance Palmer going up against Bubba Jenkins. This is an interesting matchup for the fact that they know each other. These guys know each other. They've wrestled on the teenager scene and then in college several times, which interestingly, Bubba Jenkins bested Lance Palmer in most of those matchups. I watched the media yesterday, and then Bubba Jenkins is very confident in this matchup. He says that it's not really a rivalry because he's owned Lance Palmer from all the way back then until now. He said he knows Lance Palmer. He's going to use his weaknesses against him, and he said he's going to knock out Lance Palmer in the second round. Whereas Lance Palmer said that if Bubba Jenkins is looking to the past, then he's going to be he's thinking the wrong thing, because he's won it twice already. He has the experience on his side, and that he's going to knock out Bubba Jenkins because he's the one with the experience, and he thinks that Jenkins is just holding on to the past to try and gain an advantage. In this matchup, I feel like Lance Palmer has the edge. He trains with a bunch of guys in Arizona and New Jersey. He trains with TJ Dillashaw. He trains with Frankie Edgar, Cub Swanson, just to name a few guys. Like he that's a who's who of training with, and he has the big time advantage in the wrestling. There's a difference between college wrestling and then MMA wrestling, and I think that's where Palmer has the edge there. He's been the fighter that's fought a lot more than Bubba Jenkins. Bubba Jenkins has come back into this. He hasn't fought in a couple of years, whereas Palmer fought last year, the year before that, and the year before that in the PFL. And he knows the format. He's the favorite. Like, he doesn't need to use the elbows. He's going to be able to take Bubba Jenkins down. He knows all the little tricks that he needs to use, even though Jenkins is a wrestler himself. Just like I said, there's a difference between collegiate wrestling and then MMA style wrestling. I feel like I don't think it's going to be a knockout, but I got Lance Palmer win this by unanimous decision easily, because he's going to control the pace. He's going to get Jenkins down, and then I think his striking is going to be very underrated in this matchup because Jenkins isn't going to expect it to come. But like I said, I got Lance Palmer by unanimous decision. In the second matchup we got today, we had a matchup that got short notice. It was supposed to be Mavlid Aliyev against Jared Soares, but Soares had to back out, so now it's Lazar Soriato Navic, where this is a no-brainer. I'm not going to waste too much time on this matchup, but Magomed Aliyev is going to be the heavy favorite coming out of Russia. He's 15-0-1 to Lazar's 14-7. The one draw was a fluke draw, in my opinion. He has the Sambo background. He trains at Eagle MMA, and then his striking is really good. And then everybody that knows him for his flying knees that he likes to do. I think he's going to dominate the center of the octagon. He's going to control the pace. He's going to pressure Lazar, and I feel like he's going to take him down, and he's going to be able to strike him, ground and pound him. But I actually had this as a first-round knockout by Magomed. I think he's going to catch him with the knee. And then he's just going to catch him off guard because he's the one that prepared for this for most of the fight. It's not even going to be close. He's going to dominate, like I said, and Magomed's going to pick up the first-round knockout due to his pressure and the offense that he brings. He's going to pressure. He's going to make Lazar move back, and then he's going to be a man. He's going to be very underrated in this featherweight division, and I'd be interested to see how it go if we can get a Magomed Lance Palmer matchup. That would be a great matchup to see later on in the PFL. Moving on to the third matchup, we have a matchup between defending champion in the lightweight division. We got Nathan Schultz versus Marcin Held from Poland. Nathan and Marcin both have backgrounds in grappling and are known for submitting their opponents quite a bit. Marcin was asked yesterday in media how he feels representing Poland with the likes of Jana Hovic and Joanna Jojacek, and he said that it's an honor for him to represent Poland, and that he's gonna come in and then he's gonna make defending champion Nathan submit. I don't think that's gonna happen. I think Nathan's gonna come in. This will be a good matchup. I don't think this is going to last long standing up. But I feel like Nathan Schultz is going to come in. He's going to impress his will on Held. And I could see this going to decision instead of a submission because both are going to expect the other to try and go for the grappling. But don't be surprised if Nathan knocks out Held because he's not going to expect it. I either see this as a unanimous decision for Nathan, or I see it as a second round knockout by him. But either way, the defending champion is going to come in and go to defend his crown, and he's going to win this one. So I got him by unanimous decision. In the main event of the evening, which we got the big signing of PFL fighting in the main event, we got Anthony Showtime Pettis coming in here in the lightweight matchup, going up against Cassius Clay Collard in the lightweight matchup. This is the main event of PFL 1. We got Clay Collard coming in. He's coming back from spending a few years in boxing. He did MMA before that, took time off, went to boxing, learned some skills in boxing, did 3 or 4 fights, and then decided he wanted to come back and was contacted by PFL. And he's going to be taking on, like I said, big signee Anthony Showtime Pettis, who has won championships in WEC and in UFC. And then his brother, Sergio Pettis, is fighting for the Bellator title in a couple weeks against the champion over there. This is going to be a great matchup. I love the media where Clay was saying that Anthony's been walking around the casino like he owns the place. and that he's already thinking that he's going to win it before the fight even happens, and that he wants to knock out Anthony Pettis. And then Anthony Pettis says, I'm just confident. It's not me acting like I own the place. I'm just confident in my abilities, and I know I'm going to win because that's the way I train. And then I don't see why not. Like, Anthony Pettis has won 2 championships. He goes around. He does a lot now. Like, he's learned from his past. He's fought in 3 different weight divisions. He's constantly fighting, whereas Clay has come in from boxing. If I am Anthony Pettis, I wouldn't take Clay Cotter lightly because his striking is going to be very welcome from boxing. And I think that he could catch Pettis and knock him out because Pettis has been known to get knocked out. But I feel like Anthony Pettis is going to be able to control the distance. He's going to set the pace. He's going to use his leg kicks. And he's going to use his own striking to be the difference. He was asked if he has anything up his sleeve, and he said that don't be surprised if you see something crazy like what he did against Benson Henderson in the WEC, because he's going to try and get something to be noticed on the top 10 of Sports Center. So I got Anthony Pettis in this one. I got him by second round submission. Better yet, I got him by third round submission. I think that he's going to take the first round. I feel like Clay Cotter might sneak out the second round with the striking. He's going to try and get that going. But then I feel like Anthony Pettis is going to come back around in the third round and is going to catch him with a nice leg kick to the face, get him down. And I have a feeling he's going to beat Clay Cotter by a third round bulldog choke. I think that's going to happen. And then he's going to move on with a 1-0 record after PFL 1. That they didn't sign him just to lose. And he knows that there's a little bit of pressure being the big signee in this league, and he's going to want to win that $1 million by winning the lightweight division of PFL 2021. So I got Anthony Pettis by third round bulldog choke submission. Those are my my PFL 1 predictions for you for this Friday at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. The show's going to be at the Ocean Casino in Atlantic City, closed off from the public. But I'm very excited to see this. This is going to be a great matchup for a card because the PFL has signed a bunch of big names to compete in this, and it's a growing organization that's going to be on Fridays. I love the format where it's a bracket format. This time, instead of having 8 fighters advance to the playoffs, it's only going to be 4, and you're only going to have 2 regular season matchups. So you're going to see a lot of guys go for finishes because they want to advance. They want that $1 million. They want that recognition. And it's going to be a great thing for ESPN. So once again, I'm your host, D-Bake. This is Cage My IQ. Follow us on our handles right there with the Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and Twitch. Subscribe to our pages. Cage My IQ, the best place for MMA content. And then we're also partnered with the Sports Box. You can follow them on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and subscribe there on YouTube. A whole bunch of sports podcasts to check out. Don't miss out on them, and don't miss out on our NFL mock drafts next week, and then us covering the NFL draft next Thursday and Friday. But once again, I'm D-Bake, and you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you very much.
Thank you for watching this episode of Cage My IQ on the Sports Box. Please remember to follow us on all of our social media outlets. On Facebook at Sportsbox Show, Twitter at Sportsbox Show, Instagram at The Sportsbox Show. Find us on YouTube and join Outside the Box, our Facebook sports discussion group. The Sports Box is brought to you by our sponsor, Showcase Sports in Hamilton. Showcase Sports for the elite athlete. And also our friends over at CrowdPlay. Download the free CrowdPlay app today and use promo code THEBOX at sign up for 10 free points. Thank you for joining us.